Hey, everybody, welcome to Coach Steele's Finance Training. Happy to have each and every person tuning in as usual. And of course, you know it here at Coach Steele's Finance Training. We talk about all things financial literacy. And most importantly, we take the complicated things, we break it down, we simplify it. That way, the average person can understand. Because as you understand and you learn and you get proper education when it comes to financial literacy, it is more pliable, it's easier to eat in a sense and digest, then more people can put it to practice. And so that's what we do here at Coach Steele's Finance Training. We take the complicated things, we make it simple so you can understand. We have an awesome topic on today, which is make money multitask. As you see, it's on my t-shirt. I talk about it, I say it, I wear it all the time, I do it. And of course, with my t-shirt, there's a picture below, and I'll show that to you later on today. But what do I mean by make money multitask? I am a strong advocate of being creative with your finances, doing things, thinking outside the box to make your money work for you. So many times in America, we are constantly working, putting in tons of hours to try to be able to grow wealth and grow money. And what I do is I teach people creative options and I talk about it, educate people that there's more than one way to grow your wealth and to open your mind up to be open to those options. So many people have so many mental blocks when it comes to finances that they don't open their mind up and they stay locked in, they stay closed in due to a number of different things. It may be loss aversion, it may be a pessimistic attitude. It may be fear. It may be past hurts, past trauma when it comes to finances. It may be neuroplasticity, whatever it is, a lack of it, where it slows you down. It may be anchoring. There's a number of psychological blocks that people deal with when it comes to growing their wealth, making money, multitask. And so I won't go down the rabbit hole of the psychology of it, but what I do want to talk to you about is so many creative options that you have right here at your fingertips now more than ever. And so back in the day, whether our parents, our grandparents, they didn't have access nor opportunity nor education. I'll say that again. They didn't have access, they didn't have the education nor the opportunity that we have on today. So the past should not be used as an excuse today as to why we can't move forward. And so here at Coach Steele's Finance Training, and happy to have everybody tuning in as usual. You know what to do. Make sure you hit the chat section or the comment section. I'm live on YouTube here on Coach Steele's Finance Training. That's my YouTube channel. So make sure you dive in there and leave a comment. Tell me hello. Interested in the subjects that you all want to hear, but I want to hear your thoughts and comments. How do you make your money multitask? What are you doing creative to grow your wealth and to grow your money? And one of the things that I do is I try not to oversaturate my savings account. So that's one of the first things that I do to make my money multitask. I give myself a limit. You know, most people want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency funds in their savings account. And one thing I always suggest is don't just put your emergency fund in a savings account, put it in a high yield interest savings account, HYSA. And of course, you'll see the link to a high yield interest savings account in my description, or of course, on my Facebook page, you'll see it in that description area as well. If you can't find it, just email me right here, coachsteelefinance@gmail.com, down there at the bottom of the ticker, and I'll just send you the link. That way you have a verified high yield interest savings account option that is FDIC insured. So when we deal with that high yield interest savings account option, so guys, then okay, you got 3 to 6 months in there, but the problem is some people want to put 12 months, 20 months, 2 years, and they're saturating their high yield interest savings account. The problem is when inflation is high, your money isn't really making money, and you're limiting your money's ability to multitask and do other things and grow faster for you. So, number one, small amount. I don't panic and too much try to build a big high yield interest savings account. And I know some people are saying, well, why not, Coach Steele? Because I would rather put my money to work to where it's bringing in money monthly than sitting there and not being aggressive to my benefit. And so I place money in places where it can benefit me in the now. That is good right there. In that comment section, in the chat section, I want you to put place money where it benefits you now. And so you can place money where it benefits you now and later. Your money can multitask. It can serve a purpose to help you now and serve a purpose to help you later. I could teach a class and stay in that subject um, for probably an hour or so. But when you look at a high yield interest savings account, your money is more in storage. You're trying to preserve the value. You're trying to hedge against inflation the best you can, but you're limited. With a regular savings account, you're not hedging against inflation. If inflation's at 2 or 3%, but your regular savings account is at less than 1%, guess what? The value of your money where you have it being stored, it's losing spending power. And so you're going into the negative slowly, drip by drip. It's a slow drip. But because you see that same amount there digitally when you log into your savings account, you feel like you're not losing money. But reality is you're losing spending power of that money, which means you're losing money. And so your currency is not strong. And so if you're trying to go down a river in a boat, you want a strong current to help carry you there, or you're going to have to pedal more. I mean, row more or pedal, depending on what type of, I guess, vehicle you're in and what it does to help move forward. And so my point is, you're going to have to work harder if you don't find creative ways to make your money work. Now, if you have your funds in a high yield interest savings account and you took them out of regular savings account, that high yield interest savings account is going to make interest monthly because there's an APY, whether it's 3.8%, whether it's 4% or 4.3, whatever it is, it's going to make you interest monthly based on that balance. And it's going to be compound interest. It's very small, very minimal, of course, depending on how much you have in there, but at least it's preserving a lot of the spending power, but it can't really benefit you on a high level if you overstack a high yield interest savings account. So I like to take money from my emergency fund once I have a certain amount in there, whether it's 2 months, 3 months, and I like to put that money to work. So let's say I put it in real estate. I take $20,000 down payment, real estate. Maybe I make $300 a month. Maybe I make $500 a month from that $20,000. In my high yield interest savings account, it's not going to give me $300 a month. So let's do some quick math. If we do 20,000 times 4%, 20,000 times 4%, that's $800 for the year divided by 12. That's about $67 a month on average. Of course, there's going to be compound interest, right? So when we look at that, I'll make maybe a little over $800 for the year off that 20,000. But if I put that $20,000 in real estate and I make $300 a month, instead of making $800 for the year, I'll make at least $3,600 for the year off that $20,000. Now, the next year when rent goes up, guess what? I might make $4,800 and it continues to grow. Next, it'll be 5,000. That high yield interest savings account, I'll go from 800 to a little over 1,600 to a little over 2,400. If I've done that 3 times with the real estate, 3 years with the real estate, 3,600, 3,600, 3,600, that's if rent never goes up. And we know in America, rent goes up. So my point is, I can make my money multitask and still provide me money. And let's say I take that money from the rental property and I don't need it. If I wanted to build my emergency fund bigger, I don't have to use my regular 9 to 5 money or whatever income I use to build that emergency fund. I can now take the money from the rental property to build the emergency fund where I need it to be. And if I still want to use my other 9 to 5 money, guess what? I can build the emergency fund faster. But once it's at a certain point, if I need to, instead of building my emergency fund and stacking it to the moon so it can lose and decrease in value, I can go get another rental property or I can invest in the stock market. Now I'm no longer using my regular 9 to 5 money to invest in a retirement plan, a 401k, a TSP, an IRA, 453, you name it, 457. I can take the rental income and use that and inject it into the stock market. What am I doing? I'm making my money multitask. That $20,000 I put in the real estate is now serving a greater purpose. That property is increasing in value, the rent is going up. Now I can take that money, finish up my emergency fund if I need to, which you probably don't. Or now I can take that money and invest it into the stock market or cryptocurrency, making my money multitask. What if I feel like I want insurance, whether you like term insurance or whether you like whole life? I'm not here to argue with you, but if y'all are just tuning in right here, and we'll pick up with the insurance conversation in a second. Y'all are just now tuning in to Coach Steele's Finance Trainer. We're talking about making your money multitask. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We are building up a great community of people, a great team here at Coach Steele's Finance Training. I'm calling the plays. You all are executing. We're having an awesome time here. So make sure you subscribe. But when it comes to making your money multitask, I want you all to remember just the same shirt that I'm wearing right now. You can get that same shirt as well. And I'll show you what it looks like, the rest of it, and what it looks like. Remember, we're going to pick up talking about insurance in a second. And so that's that Make Money Multitask t-shirt right there with the money man. And that dollar is investing in multiple directions. And so you see the house up there on the top right. You put that money in the house. Once you put that money in the house, you might be able to buy some crypto. You may be able to invest in gold. You may invest in the dollar or notes, whatever the case may be. And so if you all are interested and want to Make Money Multitask t-shirt, just know that you can always go to my website. If y'all are just now tuning in, we're getting ready to talk about insurance and taking the money from that rental property, being creative. So when you go to my website, you can click on shop. Once you click on shop, you'll see right here as I click on that t-shirt, and that shirt will come up. You can get the shirt in multiple colors, whatever color you like, and order your shirt. Make sure you go in there and patronize me there. So anyway, so Make Money Multitask. If I have that money in a rental property or if I have it in dividend stocks, y'all see me talk about dividend stocks, you name it, guess what? You can now take that extra money that has been working for you and then invest it somewhere else. If you didn't have enough insurance on your family, on yourself, you can take that extra money that you're making now, because instead of just the hypothetical that we did with the $20,000, instead of making no percent in a regular savings account, or let's say you were making $800 a year on that $20,000, if you have an extra $20,000 in your savings account or in your high yield interest savings account, you take that money, put it in real estate. If that real estate is making $3,600 a month or $4,800 a month, whatever it continues to grow to, you can take a portion of it. And if you want to buy insurance, you can take the money from the investment, the money from the asset. We're making money multitask, and you take the money from the asset and you go get yourself some insurance. Now you're not having to come up with your own 9 to 5 money to buy your and pay for your policy. If you get a term, great. If you get a whole, great. Whichever one works best for you, do your homework, do your research. Now, if you get whole life insurance, remember I said you want to get vehicles, financial tools that allow your money to work for you now and work for you later. That's why I like real estate. The property increases in value. The tenants pay me now and they continue to pay me later. I make my money multitask. In a savings account, my money can't really do anything for me if it's my emergency fund. It's just sitting there. So I only want to put so much in there. And guess what? If I have passive income coming from rental properties or dividend stocks or wherever you invest, whole life insurance policies, you may not need to touch your emergency fund, because if something happens to your 9 to 5 or whatever way you make your money, if the passive income is coming in, there's your emergency money that you needed. Now, as we continue to move forward, and I'm talking about making your money multitask, if you were to get whole life insurance policy, whole life insurance policies take a while to build up. And of course, you want to funnel a certain amount of money in there and all that good stuff. Get with the professional so that they can educate you on that. But whole life insurance policies have a lot of unique capabilities whether there's tax benefits there, whether it's being able to leverage against the cash value, all of that creative stuff that you can do there to then use that policy to go create more passive income. And so you can use a life insurance policy, not necessarily a whole life insurance policy, not necessarily just when you pass away for later, but you can also use it in the now. Once again, I like asset classes that allow me to use my money now and allow it to use and for to benefit me later as well. And so there's tons of asset classes. As you see, the money man is holding up where you see that dollar goes. So I just want to give you all something to think about and don't allow yourself to be put in a box and limit yourself to what you are capable of and what your money is capable of. And like I said, there's a lot of psychology behind it where people are intimidated by it or they're worried about, well, what happens if this, what happens with that? Like I said, that loss aversion. Some people are so worried about losing, they would rather not gain at all, just to say that they didn't lose. And so what's funny is many of those people who have retirement accounts, they are losing every other month. They may be losing every year, whatever the case may be. That's another subject when we talk about actual rate of return versus average rate of return in that market. So people subconsciously lose and then they gain, they lose and then they gain, but they start gaining more than they're losing. And so they say, if they have loss aversion, they say they would rather not try real estate because what if they lose? But you have your money in the stock market and it goes up and down all the time. And so real estate can go up and down as well. But are you going to gain more than you lose? Probably so. If you do your numbers, if you do your research, you do the right homework. But the difference is when you put your money into the stock market, when you put your money into a 401k, it many people, if it's set up to go in a retirement account, it's already kind of like set it and forget it. So they don't have to do much homework research. They just trust their job or whoever is managing that account and charging them fees to just do the right thing in hopes that when they retire in 30 years, that they have the right amount of money there. And so, once again, one of my videos talk about financial freedom dates and your financial freedom number. If you're going to do the set it and forget it approach, you need to know how much you're sitting in there so that you can comfortably hit your financial freedom date and number. Now, if you're not sure how to determine your financial freedom number or your financial freedom date, um, I'm going to do some more videos, detailed videos about that subject. But to get you started and get you going in the right direction, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel here, and I have a video on here about your financial freedom date and number. Getting waiting for it to pull up. Let's see here. Let's go to channel. As y'all see, the internet's moving a little slow today, but we'll be patient. And let's see here. There we go. So when you go to the YouTube channel and you click on the live tab, once you click on that live tab, you're going to see a lot of the videos that I've already done. So let's see. Okay, we click on the live tab. And then when you click on the live tab, you're going to see financial freedom date right there. So let's see if it's showing for you all. Boom. Okay. So you see it right there, financial freedom date. A lot of great content, a lot of great information. So make sure you tap in there and get that information. And make sure you also subscribe. So that's just something that you should think about. And the way you get there faster is by making your money multitask, being creative with your finances and different asset classes. Of course, I like teaching about real estate because it's one of the easiest and quickest ways to become wealthy. And it has a lot of benefits, whether it's monthly income, whether it's a tax shelter, whether you can leverage against it. Of course, you have appreciation because it grows, increases in value as well. And of course, you can also teach about it as well, educate others about it, and gain financially through teaching. So you can build your own uh, property management team. You can have a lawn care company. Like you can, there's other things around real estate as you build out your portfolio that you can create job opportunities or business opportunities for yourself or others through the power of real estate. Now, when I'm talking about making your money multitask, some of us don't want to deal with the headaches of tenants. So there's other ways to invest in real estate without having to physically go buy a house. And so I do have a link in my description to a company called Groundfloor. It's another way to just passively invest the money, and it continues to grow in value. And also there's compound interest that growth from it as well. So that's something to think about as well. You can click on the ground floor tab for those of you that want to make your money multitask, but you feel like you don't have enough money at the end of every month and you need to eliminate debt. Let's say you have a mortgage and a lot of consumer debt, credit cards, car notes, personal loans, student loans, things like that. Then maybe you want to try the HELOC strategy. Well, I have a link in my description where you can learn and get educated or get a free assessment on would that HELOC strategy work for you if you were to do your best to eliminate debt using that strategy so that you can free up your cash flow to make your money multitask. And so, guys, on today, I've really enjoyed this conversation with you all. I think it's something else that we need to pick up again at a later date. I do have a speaking engagement today. I'm excited about it. As you all are continuing to follow me here on Coach Steele's Finance Training, you see the speaking engagements are picking up because people are interested in want education on financial literacy. And so I'm talking to a group of young adults today, ages 18 through 35, on how to level up and how to be creative in their finances. One of the things I'm going to deal with today is how to level up strategically and use their money, make it multitask to help them out. You know, these young minds, ages 18 to 35, imagine if they learned some of the things that many of us know now that we wish we'd have known 10, 15 years ago. And so they're really going to be able to level up. And so if you have a group organization, someone that needs that conversation about financial literacy, or you need a speaker, feel free, go to my website, click on the speaking engagement tab and fill out that information. That way we can connect, do good business, and make sure that I can have my face in the place to have a conversation with you all about financial literacy. I like to make it simple, not complicated, but put it in a way where you can understand and also help you understand how to avoid those mental blocks that stop people from trying to grow wealth. Some of those things you'd be surprised. You know, there's something called learned helplessness. And so you should Google that, look it up, what learned helplessness is. Some people have that as well. And so that happens in people's lives holistically that stops them from making progress because of the learned helplessness that you've had in your past. And so as we continue to move forward, I'm going to continue to deal with the psychology behind it, but also what we can do, how we can take action. It doesn't take anything for you to open up a high yield interest savings account. You got to start somewhere. And so you all click on my high yield interest savings account tab in the description and get started. Take action with making your money multitask. Let's get that emergency fund built up to the right point. So now when you start investing, you're okay because you know you have a backup plan. You know you have an emergency fund. It's making interest. It's making about 4%. You don't even need the emergency fund and it's still growing in value. So now we can take that extra money and find the right asset class that you like. And let's start putting some money in that thing so it can grow in value, so it can pay you now and later, so it can diversify your portfolio creatively, no matter where you're investing in. Guys, you can do this. You have to have confidence in yourself. You have to know that you can. You have to know that greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You all can do this. You can get the wisdom, you can get the knowledge, you can get the education, and have good success in this financial space. You all be blessed and have an awesome day.